Farming is the future, and the future billionaires are going to be farmers. Why?
Future billionaires are going to be farmers. Copy that and paste it boldly. Welcome back to the channel, guys. Thank you all so much for coming back. You guys see me excited like this. That's because I'm going to share with you in this video the story of an Afriboss. You guys remember our Afriboss series, right? The series where we celebrate exceptional, trend-setting, trailblazing African women. So today's story is going to inspire you. It's about a young African woman who decided to start farming and is doing it successfully. You will know why this story is interesting and inspiring as we go into the conversation. But before we do that, if you've not subscribed, kindly click on that subscribe button, give this video a thumb up, and definitely share it, okay? Now let's go meet her and have conversation with this exceptional Afriboss. Let's go. Here is the amazing Christine. You guys are going to hear her story. Before we start, let her introduce herself. Christine, introduce yourself to us.
Hi, Grace. Thank you so much for hosting me.
Pleasure.
Yeah, I'm really so grateful to be part of this as well. And you're coming to Uganda. Welcome to Uganda.
Thank you.
Hope you've enjoyed your stay so far.
I've been having a good time here. Eating matoke, eating katogo.
Yeah, my name is Christine. Most people call me Tina. I am one of the directors of Value Farm. I'm a farmer, by the way. Yeah. That's what I basically do.
Yes.
My farm is Value Farm.
Value Farm. There's something about the way she called herself a farmer that it sounds normal now, especially to me. But growing up, being called a farmer connoted like poverty and all of that, you understand? Because farmers were basically, well, in my culture, where the part of the world I'm from, Nigeria, by the way, farmers were usually people who till the ground, plant crops, and were not considered rich people and all. But someone like you wouldn't say I'm a farmer, but here you are introducing yourself as a farmer. So how did it start for you being a farmer? Is it something you always wanted to do, or how did it all start for you?
Wow. By the way, farming is very normal. People shouldn't really despise farming and really think farming is only for the poor. Things have really changed. We need to feed the population. The population is growing and there is shortage of food. So farming is something that you can really do even if you have your degree, your master's, your PhD. I personally, I have a bachelor's in information technology, and I've worked in a corporate company before, but me deciding to become a farmer, it was a decision, of course, with my co-director that I work with at Value Farm, to do something like farming, because it wasn't like something that I really dreamt of really doing before, but because of working in a corporate environment for a long time, because I worked for over 10 years, but I really got very tired. It's little pay, there's no freedom, financial freedom, my own freedom to do things that I really wanted. I didn't have all that, and I needed to do something that I could really enjoy and also get money from. So farming was an option, and of course there's a gap in there. And remember right now, like the way we are doing farming at Value Farm, it is modern technology. Everything is now modernized. It's not that I have to be at the farm to dig. It's not that we have people that you can definitely employ to do all that. But as long as you apply the skills, the modern skills, so that everything is really done in the right way. That's basically how we started farming. The farm is now it just made a yarn around 4 months, 5 months. But we have really done pretty well due to our research, visiting other farms as well, because remember, I didn't have any experience in farming, but visiting other farms has really exposed and also opened up our minds to how we can do things really differently in farming.
Of course.
We're inspiring other people to also join farming. They find it even much enjoyable, because farming is not really for the people who don't have money at all. Farmers are very rich people. Farmers are the ones who really... That is so true. I'm not talking about myself, but generally.
I understand.
Because talking to other fellow farmers, what they're doing, it is dirty work, of course. Most people don't want to go into the garden getting dirty in the sun. You like, most people like to be in the AC.
Exactly.
Feel comfortable.
Soft life.
Yeah, sometimes you need to get out of your comfort zone and go out there and even do better.
Talk to us about your farm. What is it, do you till the ground or you rear animals? What sort of farming do you do?
Are we doing?
Yeah.
Wow, that is an amazing question. Of course, Value Farm is a mixed farm.
Okay.
We do several stuff. Like they always say, do not put your eggs in one basket.
Yeah.
So you always have to do different things at the same time, which is really very good. That's what we always advise farmers. And we always advise farmers to start small, but think big.
Yeah.
So it is a mixed farm, and we deal in poultry, we do piggery, goat farming, rabbits as well. Okay. Yeah, then we have a few cattle and also sheep at the moment. Yes.
That's awesome. So did you start off with all of these animals at the same time when you started off? Because oftentimes people's problem is, how do I start? I don't have the money to start.
How we started very small. And people who have really watched our videos as well have seen the journey of which we have really progressed from when we bought the land. But we started with one goat.
One goat.
One pig.
Wow.
That's why
one goat, one
pig. Then a few chickens. I think we bought like 5 chickens in the beginning because we wanted to have that feeling of the farm. When we bought the land and we wanted at least to have animals and also the birds there. That's how we started. But what I should really advise farmers out there, or someone who really wants to start and is really wondering, how am I going to start? Because you may look at Value Farm right now, but a few months ago, we weren't where we are right now because we started with a few animals, but you grow, do your research, and also visit other farms. Another thing that you need to do, going to other farms, you need to learn from other people, how they are doing their things. And do not go only to one farm. Go to several farms, get knowledge. Then you decide on how you're going to do even it better. Because the way someone is doing they're keeping their animals may be quite different from how you're doing yourself. So you visiting different farmers, you learn from them. And the good thing about farmers, most of them really tell you what you're supposed to do. Of course, there are a few who are very selfish, who will not tell you the right thing. But after you visiting different farms and here and there, you'll definitely learn at least a lot, and you can improve and also make your things even better at your farm. So Value Farm, we started with a few animals, but right now we have a reasonable size of animals and birds at the farm.
This is actually a message to anyone who wants to start not only a farm, but anything at all. It's always okay to start small, but then think big, like she said, and then you think expansion and all.
And even another thing about someone starting really small, you learn from your animals. Personally, and my co-director, we didn't have really much experience, like hands-on experience in farming. But when you start with a few animals like piggery, you'll definitely know what you're going to deal with. You're not going to make lots of mistakes. Because there are people who want to overstock and you make mistakes, there's a big loss that you can make at the end of it all. But when you start small, you learn from your animals, from the medication, the feeding. At least you learn, then you expand with time. At least when your animals grow in numbers, you definitely know how to handle the animals as well. So it is very advisable for first-time farmers, for beginners, to always start with a few animals.
To start with a few animals.
And learn from it.
And learn from it.
Yes.
So that's a big tip, because I was going to ask you, what would you say are the key things for anyone who wants to start an animal farm to know before they start? You said you talked earlier about doing research. You've talked about starting small. Yes. What else, like, does a beginner really
need to know is about growing your own crops, growing your own feeds, especially like for piggery. If you have your maize, I don't know how you call it.
Yes,
is it also maize?
Maize, yes. Corn.
Yes. Because remember, the prices of feeds has become really very high in most cases. It is very expensive. For example, piggery. Pigs really feed, and they have to feed daily, on daily basis. They're not like goats that you can take to browse in the shrubs and all that. But for piggery, you need to have feeds. And feeds matters a lot in piggery, because if you don't feed your pigs very well, they're going to lose weight, you're going to spend so much, and you're not going to end up with any profits. So you need to plant your feeds, plant your own maize, what Grace said, corn. Yes, you have to have at least a corn garden that you can definitely supplement. Then you can buy a few things here and there. Then again, I can still add on piggery still. If you're going to start a pig farm, you need to make sure that you have a water source in your farm. Yes. So for animals to at least also have water. They also hydrate like anyone else here. Like you feed, you have to feed and also take some water.
Yes.
And of course, water is something that really contributes to the pig weight a lot that most people really don't know about. Yes.
And then there's also another thing. Growing up, we would see pigs like, you know, Nigeria is hot, so they would like go look for water, stagnant water in the streets, and oftentimes the water would be dirty. You just see them like swimming inside and all. So it's that they really need the water to regulate their temperature
and also feed.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what you have to know. And even that, that's what I was telling you, like farming, the farming of those days is quite different from how we are doing things right now. There are modern ways of doing farming. Like piggery, you don't have to really leave pigs on free range and go that side, like all over the place, because that is the way that your pigs can even get diseases, can get the swine fever, and they die. Where we started as Value Farm, we started with a very simple structure. In fact, our beginning, let me tell you, Grace, we started just a very temporary structure, because we wanted to start, you know, the project to kick off immediately.
Yes.
So we started with just the normal timber, the iron sheets, you know. You definitely see from the B-roll how it really looks like, because it was barely simple. We, of course, we put in the nipple drinkers for them to take the water from. Then the feeders, we just improvised with just wood so that we can pour in the food for them to eat. But at least shelter should be there for them so that they don't go all over the place. So for beginner farmers, invest in a small structure, simple. You don't have to really
break the bank.
Girl, yes, exactly. You don't have to really break the bank to make sure that you have a bigger, fancy structure. So our journey, we started with the temporary structure. We went to the semi-temporary structure as well. Now we have a permanent structure. You may maybe see us having that fancy, nice, big structure. That is not where we began from. We started with just a temporary structure, which was really affordable, which anyone can really build from the beginning, really. So structure is very key. Do not let your pigs to roam around to go to different places. That is very, very dangerous. Yes, but you can also let your pigs to maybe go within the perimeter if you want them to exercise, because it's also good for them to exercise. They shouldn't be only confined in one place, but at least make sure that they're secured, but not to go to the neighbors. Because even remember, like how you said, to go to the neighbor's place. What if that neighbor is not a Christian? Maybe doesn't eat pork and all that. Can do anything to eat. So you need to be considerate. And also the structure that you're really going to construct. Because at Value Farm, we are using a system called the deep litter system.
Deep litter system.
Yes, the deep litter system is where we use the IMO, and we also have the bedding, a natural bedding for them. Yeah, you'll definitely see from the B-roll how it looks like, where we use the wood shavings, then we spray with the IMO liquid. So that structure has no smell at all. You can go into the structure, even enjoy your food, even have a drink. Because most people have this mentality that pigs are very dirty, they're very smelly, you know, all that. That is not how it is.
So it all depends on how you manage your farm, the system of farming that you are choosing.
Exactly.
So it's very important.
So that you're also considerate to your neighbors, because you don't want to someone to come and visit you and from a distance can tell that, oh, this person has pigs, oh, it is really smelly. People even will not come and visit you. So there are some systems that, like I told you earlier on, that there's modern technology. There's how we've improved stuff that farming is really enjoyable.
It is. Right, so I like these points. I was going to ask, now you've said farming is enjoyable. Do you think there is a future for young Africans in farming? Because we have reports of, you know, youth unemployment across Africa. every country in Africa has high statistics of youth unemployment and all, but then you are here on the farm and you're talking about how enjoyable it is. So is this something that you would encourage young Africans to adopt? Do you think there's a future in it? Do you think it's profitable? Because, I mean...
That is so true, Grace. Like, every time someone asks me such a question, like, I feel the joy to really to share with you guys.
Share.
To share with you guys out there, because farming, let me tell you something, it is enjoyable. Let no one deceive you, lie to you that it is something that is very, very... Of course, it also has its own other ups and downs than here, like in normal business. But it's really enjoyable when you have something of your own. Now the youth out there, jobs are scarce. We are all competing for the small few jobs that we have here.
White-collar jobs.
White-collar jobs. But the opportunities to feed the world, to feed the population. Why can't you take that advantage? Farming is the future. And the future billionaires are going to be farmers. Why?
Future billionaires are going to be farmers. Copy that and paste it boldly.
That is so true. Because when you see the increasing population right now, and people are feeding every day,
yes.
Where is the food going to come from?
From the farm.
Everything that we eat on daily comes from where?
The farm.
From the farm. You understand? So if people really put so much emphasis on farming and they're doing it right, trust me, you're going to make money. So the youth out there, I'd really advise you to take farming seriously. If you have land back home, because that is another thing that I really wanted to stress out. People may be saying that, okay, we can do farming, but where can I get the land?
The land.
Land is becoming expensive.
With the increase in population.
The increase of population right now. The basic that I can really advise someone out there, we have learned from our parents. You know how we have been discussing before, like people fear to go to the villages, back home. So you want to be in the city. But parents have this inherited land that you can start with.
Family land.
Family land that you can start with. So if you go back home, when you swallow the pill and say, okay, let me just go to the village, even if you go once in a while and set up something in the village, start with what you have, what is available, what your parents can give you. Start from there. Then with time, you can definitely get the money, go somewhere else that you can expand, buy larger pieces of land, because land is an issue to so many people. You don't have even to buy large chunks of land at once. You start small. Like Value Farm, we didn't start with the number of acres that we have currently. We started with a few acres, but we kept on expanding. We kept on buying more as the farm is growing. So land shouldn't be an issue for anyone out there. Start with what you have. Go back home. Ask your parents if they can give you a piece of land to start with. That is okay. Yes.
That is okay.
Yes.
Right. So then when we talk about the business of farming, you know, there's farming because it's enjoyable and it's profitable. You said the future billionaires will come, you know, from farming, like farmers. So what are the, you know, business basics that someone needs to know or acquire before they start farming? Because if I want to be a billionaire too, so if I want to become a billionaire from the farm, what are the basic business, you know, skills that I need to have to succeed in modern days?
In modern days, it's all about research.
Research.
Do your research.
Okay.
And learning does not stop. As a farmer who has been farming for a year and a few months, I still learn. And learning does not stop. So that's why I tell you that in case you watched other people, even if you don't visit physically, because it might be expensive, go on YouTube. Watch what these guys are doing.
Yes, like Value Farm.
Like Value Farm. Go to other farm content creators. See what they're doing different. And people share that knowledge there selflessly.
Like Value Farm. I keep emphasizing like Value Farm because in case you don't know, Value Farm also has a huge YouTube channel that they share a lot of information selflessly, like every single thing you need to know about farming, you know, animal farming, they put it out there based on their own experience, and you know, they're doing it successfully. So what they share is really profitable, and it is something you can work with. Even if you don't have any knowledge about farming, you can start with that and, you know, grow from there, even by following their content. So,
and the beauty about it, we share each and everything. And you can go back to the old videos and see how we started and where we are right now. We are transparent. That is the best thing about it, because we put everything out there for people to learn. And of course, learning is really so good. If we are to inspire people out there, if we are to really motivate people out there, it makes us even happy, because we are, you know,
you're impacting
so many lives,
impacting Africans and everybody.
And everyone can definitely do that. And even another thing that I should also emphasize for anyone who has a business out there, a farm, put it online, advertise it, put it on Instagram, put it on TikTok for people to get to know. Because market has been an issue for most farmers. People will be like, okay, I have my pigs, I have my poultry, but the market is not there.
But then social media is at our disposals. We have all of these platforms.
Play around with social media, just posting only your fancy lifestyle.
And people are there on social media every day. Billions of people, millions of people. So it's also a market, you know, because I was going to also get to the point of, you know, marketing and putting it out there. And I'm happy that you mentioned, you know, the fact that people need to put their businesses, their farm and all on social media so that they can get the market.
They can get the market, and also people get to know you. Get to know that, okay, there are animals in this farm that I can be able to go and purchase. As long as you're transparent, you're a genuine person, it is really very good for you to do that. And also the market, start with your area of location. Start with your neighbors. Look, before even you start a farm, look for the market within. If there is really maybe like piggery, I'm talking in terms of piggery, look around whether there are butchers around, where are they slaughtering from, maybe other farmers as well. Talk to them, see whether they can be able to purchase, whether there's a need within your locality, within your location. Those are the market. That's where you start from before you go looking for market elsewhere in the cities. Start with wherever you are at the moment.
You know, also talking about the market, you might be in an area where it is, you know, predominantly Muslims, and you know Muslims do not consume pork, and then you want to start a pig farm. It might be a problem. It goes back to where you talked about, you know, being considerate, and then now the market. So also, even going into farming based on this, you need to also consider the kind of market that would work for the kind of animals you want to farm. You're going to start, right? So Christine, you are a beautiful young woman, honestly, and you are doing this successfully. Like we started, nobody would expect that a beautiful young woman, African woman like you is farming, you know, but you are doing it so well. So what would be your word to other, you know, young African women like you? Because, you know, we are talking about you as an Afri-boss. You are doing this successfully. What do you have to say to other young African women like you out there who probably are complaining of no jobs, or who feel like this is not something for me? So
for women out there, do not despise farming. Do not think farming is not profitable. You can definitely earn so much as long as it's really done right, like we've already discussed in the video. Do your research, and also do something of your own. Do not just sit back home, maybe become a housewife. At least if you have even a job or somewhere, you can start a farm as your side hustle. Start something small that you can definitely get extra income. So for fellow women out there, please do something for yourselves, because, you know, women are the ones, we are the mothers of the nation, and we are always here to feed the people, and always people follow us. So let's be an example to the rest of the women and also the population.
Good word there. Hope you've taken this advice from Christine and you're going to run with it. As a fellow woman, she has really inspired me. You know, just hearing her share her story, you know, the past 1 year and some months, and everything has changed because she decided to take the step, you know, to change what was not really giving her satisfaction or working for her anymore. So it's also important for you, take the step. If you are in a position or you are in a place and it doesn't feel okay for you anymore, financially, career-wise, you can always be that change, initiate the change. And as you take the step, a lot of things begin to fall in place for you. True. It might not be easy, but like she has said, they have persevered, you know, over the time. Maybe it's all one or two challenges that you've overcome. That's Christine?
True. The challenges that we've really overcome, if I can really say, it's all about, there are just a few things that can be worked on. That's what I should really say. But maybe management is also a major issue to so many farmers out there, me inclusive. You can employ people to work for you, but most of them come with their own intentions. That is expected. But if you're starting as a beginner, you can start by yourself. Then you can definitely employ other people.
As you make money.
As you make money. But management is a big issue, but try to work so well with the people that you're going to put into your business, into your farm, so that they can always be honest to you. Because, you know, people come, steal, and that is going to impact their business as it's growing.
So it has to be with you building a good relationship with the people you are working with, your staff, or even the community where your farm is.
The community where the farm is, because also your neighbors will determine how your farm is going to grow. Because if your animals like goats, if you're doing goat farming and they're on free range and they go and eat other people's crops and all that, some people, they may even kill it outside there. So some, if you really have a good relationship with your neighbors, they will tell you, okay, please, let your people not bring your goats out here. So it's all about creating that
good relationship.
Yes.
Right. So guys, you've heard from Christine, the millionaire farmer.
Oh my God.
The beautiful Christine, our, you know, farmer. She has given us a lot of useful advices today. So you've heard from her. One thing I need you to remember from what she has said today is that the future billionaires from Africa will come from farming, like will be farmers. Because we are increasing in population, we need to feed ourselves, and we always hear about stories of food shortages across Africa. So we are the ones, high prices because of importation, and also we are the ones to change that, develop our own economies, and it starts by us producing what we eat instead of importing. So just like Christine is doing now, you can also start. If you're a woman, if you're a man, it doesn't matter. You can start little and think big, think expansion, like she has said. So thank you so much, Christine, for sharing your story with us.
My pleasure.
Yeah, and like I said, if you want to know more, you have more questions about farming, you want to start, head over to the channel Value Farm. It is on the screen here. It is also linked in the description box. A lot of resources there that Christine shares selflessly that you can learn from and start your own farm. She's doing the work. It will be very easy for you. Thank you so much for watching, okay? Thank you.
Thank you so much. I wish we had so much time, but
no,
I really appreciate it.
It's okay.
I wish I'll share next time.
Yeah, thank you. If you have been inspired, definitely share this video, give it a thumb up, and if you've not subscribed, remember to click on the subscribe button. When you do, tap on the bell and select all. That way you will always be the first to know when I post a new video or I do a live stream. Thank you guys. I'll see you in my next video. Until then, stay safe, healthy, be law abiding. Virtue Grace, the African storyteller. Bye. Mwah.